Hey everybody, welcome to 12th House Tarot. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, Father, Mother, God, please guide us and protect us. And send our spiritual team of light and the light only, known and unknown, as we reveal, bind, rebuke, and destroy all demonic and negative energies, entities, and auras in all dimensions, in all realms, in all realities, in all aspects of life, for the highest good of all, for all generations of the past, present, and future, in life, light, love, divinity, purity, prosperity, and protection. Amen and Ashe. Y'all know you gotta start off with that. Let y'all know who it is that I'm connected to. Yeah, now you feel me? You feel me? If y'all following me, that's who y'all connected to too. All right, Cancerians. Let's go ahead and hop on into y'all. What y'all got going on for this month? Cancerians. All right, Father, Mother, God, what overall message did you have for the Cancers? Because y'all, Taurus and Gemini, Taurus and Gemini, they ain't playing no games. Check out where Taurus and Gemini is in your chart, as well as where Cancer is in your chart, because it's not just your sun, moon, and your rising. The readings are timeless. It could be any aspect, any asteroid, any configuration in your birth chart, any house. Why did I start off with Taurus, even though this is y'all season? Because Taurus rules the second house, and there's a lot of stuff that came out in the weekly astrology that really is focused in on the second house. So we start off with that. Ooh, y'all got a beautiful card. I've never gotten this card out before. Soul name. Your soul name, though? Oh, we about to go deep. Okay, Cancerians. Okay, that water sign, the little crustacean shell. Soul name. You are remembering who it is that you are, which is the first step into so many beautiful things, so much abundance. Know that you have Archangel Metatron around you, Archangel Raziel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Camiel, and you have the greatest source of all, Father, Mother, God, with that golden light piercing right through, ready for your rebirth and transformation, so that you can know your soul name. Knowing your soul name is like knowing, your purpose, your calling, your mission, your gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Why Father, Mother, God decided to put you, the only version of you that exists in this world, on this planet at this point in time, right here, right now. Soul name is a beautiful thing right there. So we have a lot of transformation of people going through these changes and revealing their authentic self, their truth, their soul name, their calling, their mission, their purposes through a form of heartbreak. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups with Temperance in reverse. So a love offer, you were 10 toes in, but you rushed in. It was unbalanced. But it didn't lead you to the Palace of Swords. It didn't make you bitter. It actually took you from a Knight of Cups into the King of Cups. And even though this relationship came to an end, you were able to start over and be able to restructure and draw out your boundaries with the Page of Swords upright. So whatever this heartbreak and this heartache was, know that you were guided, you were protected the whole entire time. And it was the catalyst for your rebirth and your transformation. Okay, that was just like 50 million cards. Okay, they said take them, so we're going to take them. Because knowing your soul name, knowing your purpose, your calling, being able to have that true connection with Father, Mother, God, with your spiritual team, there's going to be heartbreak and heartache. Why? Because through descension, you're able to ascend. When you can get as low as you can possibly go and have no one else in the physical world to turn to, you got Father, Mother, God, you got your spiritual team, you got your ancestors, the archangels, the ascended masters like Jesus and Yogananda and Buddha. You got all of them sitting there, guiding you, watching you, protecting over you, sharing and having that love and support covering you. And so with this Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups taught you how not to fight, how to surrender, how to just let go and let God. Being in a state of imbalance with Temperance in reverse, it allows you to step into your Empress energy. And then with the Palace of Swords in reverse, it allows you to not only step into, to put down, let go and let God, step fully into your Empress energy. It allows you to be able to create and manifest and move forward very passionately, even though this Two of Cups did cause a burden on you. Know that you are protected. You are protected. And they see that burden. They see that injustice. They see the fairness. They see the heartbreak, the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the grief. But all within that, it gave you a testimony, because now you're the Knight of Wands. It gave you a whole testimony to be able to share, be able to live through, be an example for someone else that has gone through that feels alone. Sometimes we go through what we go through, not so we could just go through it, but so that we can grow through that. So then we could be and have a testimony, have an example for someone else, because it hits completely different when someone is just giving, sympathy of like, oh yeah, oh that feels, man, I'm sorry you're going through that, versus someone coming out and saying like, hey, you know what, I survived it. I went through that. You can too. You can come up out of it. Look at me. The same thing happened. The same situation happened. And look at where I am now. There was a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos going on. You didn't know where to go, where to turn. In that state of letting go and letting God, you didn't know where to turn, where to go. There was a lot of options. You got the Seven of Cups. Like, there's all types of things in this cup. You got a snake, you got a shell, you got a beetle, then you got jewelry, then you got a tree, you got keys. You got the angel wings, like it's like what direction? So in that state of confusion, you didn't feel like the Queen of Cups. You didn't feel abundant. You didn't feel like you had your emotions, intact. You knew that they were everywhere, but the Empress is still in the middle throughout this imbalance of your emotions. By letting go and letting God, you're still able to manifest. You got the Tree of Life in reverse. You really taking just a leap of faith, because with all this confusion, and through confusion, you're able to go through a rebirth. And that's with this Queen of Cups and this Tree of Life being upside down, it's a rebirth. You're not chasing after what it is that you see. You're literally walking by faith and not by sight, because Pentacles are all about the things that we can see, things that are tangible, things that have manifested, things that's in the physical 3D world. You're literally walking by faith and not by sight, not ruining over your wounds and, your scars and your battles. You let go, you gave that to God. That's clarified by the Ten of Wands. You literally let go and let God, and you got Archangel Michael coming out at the end. Archangel Michael coming out at the end. Knowing that you are protected. You know that you're protected throughout it all, because even though you're in a state of confusion and everything, you're still able to manifest. You're still able to create. And you're like, this can't be nothing but God, because I don't know where it is that I'm going. I don't know where it is. And, you're getting to that point of getting to your soul name. And then there's this Queen of Cups in reverse as well. They offered a whole lot of confusion and chaos, and didn't want you to know where it is that you were going, and wanted to take away your abundance, wanted you to feel bad for yourself. And Archangel Michael came in and said, we ain't having that, none of that today. No, we not. Person that's called and chosen, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. We are clarifying the Queen of Cups and the Tree of Life in reverse. You got the Hierophant with the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords. Yeah. This Hierophant and this Five of Swords, they are attacking this Eight of Swords. So it was definitely some interference going on, really trying to stop your abundance through a heartbreak, through a situation of love. Because got the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Two of Cups in reverse. So it's definitely with some type of heartbreak and love. But at the end, you're standing like the Empress in the middle of all this chaos and confusion by letting go and letting God. Even in this state of imbalance, that's the peace, that's the past, it's all understanding. When you have that peace in the storm, That peace, people can't understand that peace. You should be falling down. You should be breaking apart. You should be mad. You should be angry. You should be seeking vengeance. But you are at peace and you just creating and manifesting? How? That's an understanding that you don't get until you lived it, until you experienced that and you had that peace in the midst of a storm. It's like being in the middle of a tornado. They said that is the most peaceful place. There's nothing going on. You would just see everything swirling around you. That's why. That peace is hard. It's hard for people to understand that's never experienced that type of peace, where you can see everything falling apart around you and literally knowing that, okay, you know what? I know all of this is happening for a reason, and it's going to be revealed to me soon. And it's because your soul name is sacred. Your soul name is sacred, and it's not something that is for everybody to know either. Your soul name is your purpose, your sacred name. It is sacred. It's your purpose. It's part of your mission. It's your calling. It literally tells who it is that you are in the spiritual realm. Your status up there. This Eight of Swords ain't getting away with nothing. If you are playing by the rules, and the Hierophant, because the Hierophant in the supernatural deck, right? She was an archangel. She ended up taking over Archangel Gabriel's job. The Archangel of Death, which is also the Archangel of Rebirth and Transformation. So this person got something coming. They thinking they coming after you when they not gonna get away with nothing. Trying to deliver, pain and anger and hurt coming your way. But it's going to end up backfiring on them and send them into a rebirth and a transformation. And the Ace of Bones came out in reverse. They don't have what it is that they need to have, the Six of Pentacles. They don't have the balance. They don't have the motivation. They don't have the drive. They don't have the passion. They don't have the support, the fire support. Because really, the fire, that passion, that drive, that, that fire of a phoenix can't. it's such a powerful and beautiful place to be in, that type of manifestation, because that's a place of like renewal. The Page of Blades. We're trying to end up conning you into a place that you're not supposed to be, because he was very gullible and look, justice at the end of that. At the bottom of the deck. He was very naive, he was gullible. He just wanted to help people, use his gifts, but it ended up falling into, bad hands. And that's in reverse. They really want you to use your gifts in a very bad way, in a very negative way. They want you bitter, hurtful, and sorrow, because misery loves company. They want you to create and attract the same chaos, nonsense, and confusion that they about to get because they didn't play games in the spiritual realm. You don't do that. And then you got justice at the bottom of that. Justice is coming. Justice is coming. You don't do that to people. You don't do that to people. This manipulation and confusion and to get people off of their path, because that's essentially what it is for, to get you off of your path. Like, why are people so intimidated about their path, about other people's paths? You should be focusing on your path, and then you wouldn't have to worry about what someone else's path got, because you worried about you, and you trying to figure out how you fit in this big circle. And shit, for all you know, y'all could have been friends for real. But you want to fight over the calling, the soul name that God gave somebody else. You fighting the wrong person. The person that had nothing to do with that. You're going to have to take that up with Father, Mother, God, but you ain't going to play that game now, are you? I bet you not play that game. You got a problem when someone's calling and their soul name, you're going to have to take that up with Father, Mother, God. Because that's the one that gave it to them. You're going to take that up with them. So, the demonic energies that surround this, you have the Chariot, Andras, sower of discord, slayer of men. You got the seven of Pentacles, Herbaceous, teaches arts, sciences, and rhetoric, restores lost honors and dignities, takes honor and dignity from others. So yeah, they really wanted to, they just wanted to take your joy, your abundance, your soul name, your destiny, your mission, your calling, your gifts, skills, talents, and abilities, and get you to create discord. So because at that point now they enslaved you. They own you. You done sold, your gift skills. You done sold your soul to the devil. But no. Ooh, I'm getting. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. The angels in heaven have signed my name. Look at that, his own name. Yeah, the angels in heaven have signed your name. They can't stop that. So then you got the star, Gaia. Can cause love or hate, can make one ignorant and without sense, delivers familiars from other magicians, can move one from place to place. So you're definitely dealing with a spirit that is similar to the spirit in, what's that movie with Denzel Washington? Fallen, where it moves. So you're going to be, so remember this situation, remember this experience that you had, because you're going to encounter it later on again. And when you encounter it later on again, this time you're not going to be a Knight of Cups. You're going to be able to move the way it is that you fully, wholeheartedly need to move. You're not going to be moving in a jovial way. You're going to be moving like the King of Cups. You're going to be using logic with those emotions. The angels that was guarding you and watching over you during this time, we got the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands came out. Let me go ahead and show y'all this. The 10 of Wands right there. 10 Wands. Let me move these down so y'all can see y'all whole little spread. Cancerians. With justice over here at the bottom of the deck. All right. You got the 10 of Wands. See, they really try. They try. Let's go ahead and cross him on off. There's 7 of Pentacles. That was that confusion and chaos in the 3D. We ain't got time for that. So you had the 10 of Wands, God humiliating the proud, spiritual communication, influences, religious men, teachers, and men of law. Did not the Hierophant come out? Did not the Hierophant come out? This is the one that holds the law. And then she coincidentally became Archangel Gabriel, basically the Archangel of death, which death is not just death in the physical realm, but also transformation, rebirth. So yeah, they're going to go through the transformation that they did not want you to go through. They're going to end up going through it. They're going to have a real coming to Jesus moment. That's going to be their justice. And hey, that's some beautiful justice right there. They don't want to go through it because they're going to have to reap what they sowed. They're going to have experienced that same energy that they put out, and it's going to end up changing them on a core level. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Raphael, God has healed. Healing heals all disorders, protects travelers and medical workers. See, and even you moving, let's say you are the person moving from place to place to place to place and keep accounting this energy. Know that you are still protected. You got Archangel Raphael. That's the Archangel of healing right there. The Wheel of Fortune. It's going to move forward. You got the 10 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Chariot. Know that every trial and tribulation will become a testimony for you to be able to help yourself and someone else. And even in this situation where this person did what it is that they did, it's going to end up helping them in the end, because they're going to end up carrying that same 10 of Wands and going and having the rebirth and the transformation and seeing you come out of what it is that they put you through. And now they're going through that. They're going to be looking to you. And then you're going to be the example for them to know, like, okay, yep, I did mess up. Yep, I'm having a come into Jesus moment. Yep, I deserve this. Yep, I'm going through a rebirth and transformation. And for me to, be able to really live the life that I want to live, I'm going to have to change. I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to change because, no. This isn't right. What I did was not right. What I did was wrong. That was not okay. And sometimes God will work that way. God works in mysterious ways to the point where, yeah, they will use you to be, to go through some sort of hell and high water, some trial and tribulation, so that you can speak life or a testimony and help someone be able to see their negative ways that they keep repeating, that they just wouldn't see unless it was sat right there in their face. And you were the catalyst for that karma that God allowed to work through you. That's a beautiful thing right there. All right, so we have the Page of Candles. Miriam's praise for God. Miriam sang to them, sing to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. Both horse and driver he has hurled into the sea. Exodus 15:21. This little print on here, y'all. Both horse and driver he has hurled into the sea. And then we have the wheel of fortune with the chariot. So your chariot just moves forward while your enemy's chariot is being thrown into the sea. They gonna get baptized. They gonna go through a rebirthing and transformation. They need to be cleansed and purified through that holy water, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. And then a tower moment, the Tower of Babel. Know that all the confusion and the lies and the manipulation and the games, and you're really embodying your soul name. Know that you are a walking catalyst of change for people. Know that you are a walking catalyst for that, so that they can be able to really know that what they are putting out emotionally, it is not healthy. It is not right. It is not okay. You don't use it to stop other people's purposes, and they gonna learn. They're going to learn. They are. They actually, and I'm not saying, oh, y'all, they going to learn today. No, but they really are going to learn. They're really going to have a coming to Jesus moment where they're able to really see that tower moment, go through this process of transformation by being hurled into the sea, have a tower moment, and then come out with the Knights of Chalices. Whenever, this is young David, whenever the Spirit of God came on Saul, David would take up his lyre and play. Then relief will come to Saul. He will feel better, and the evil spirit will leave him. 1 Samuel 16:23. So that, again, they're going to go into the Night of Chalices. They're going to have these rebirth moments and this transformation. They're really going to follow. You are their blueprint. You are the map. You are literally a walking version of who it is that they want to be, which is why they were so jealous in the first dang place. But all they had to do was just learn. But their pride wouldn't let them learn. But now it is, because they have been humble. So they're in a place where now it's time for them to receive. Because all Saul, for Saul to stop being attacked by the evil spirit that was attacking him, was for him to just let David take his rightful place as throne. Saul was told, your time is over. You know, you had a good run. You did some good things. Yes, you did. But you stepped out of alignment. So now you got to pay your dues. If he just would have been like, okay, you know what? Hey, look, my time is over. I did what I had to do. Obviously, you know what? I messed up. David, it's your turn. You go ahead and take it. Do you know what kind of life he could have lived? You know, instead of continuously trying to fight David. Yeah, he didn't know that it was David at the beginning, but instead of him trying to constantly fight him, do you know what kind of life he could have lived? The redemption he could have had if he had just let go and let God do his work. So now this person's going through the same thing. Learn from Saul. You're going through that same thing. Whoever this Queen of Wands in reverse that calls these Seven of Cups and try to stop your life path. You're going through the same thing. You didn't do what you were supposed to be doing. Now you're trying to be redirected, but you still got to pay the karma for what it is that you sowed, that you now have to reap, because you can't put that on someone else. And then that's also going to help with your rebirth and your transformation, because then you're going to know how that felt, because just telling you, just you hearing it, obviously it wasn't getting through. So now you must live it. And it gets to that point. You get these chances of this gentle parenting, if you will, where you're told, you're being reminded, hey this, hey don't, until eventually it's just like one day I was telling my stepdaughter one time with my ex, she kept spinning around the chair. I said, don't do that, hey, don't do that. You know, the last time I popped on her little leg, stop doing that. because I could see the danger of her keep spinning fast in this chair. And I'm like, no, but you're going to fall, you're going to hurt yourself. No, I'm fine. She thinks she's fine. Why? The chairs haven't let her down yet, but I see what's going to happen. You're going to keep doing it, you're going to get reckless with it, and then it's going to tip over, then you're going to be looking at me talking about something, ow. Yeah. And that's exactly what ended up happening. She kept doing it. She ended up falling out of her chair. Now she's running to me because she's hurt. Her feelings hurt. She's embarrassed because it was surrounded by all of her classmates and everything, because it was like an open house at their school. And it's like, but I told you not to do that. So now you're going to have to deal with that karma because I told you not to do it. So now you had to walk through it and live through it, and no, you're not going to be there to help that person. They're going to be watching from a side because they're still in a state of humility, for real, for real. They still don't really want to admit that they're wrong, but they know that they were wrong. And they're at that state. But to come to you and say it, no, because they already know they messed up to the point where you're just going to be like, okay, I'm glad you realized that, and keep on pushing. And that's going to hurt them because they do need the help. So they figure, okay, I get your help from a distance because and they're also you're protected, you're being guided. They're not allowed to come back and intervene because once you mess with somebody's life path, you go and get an eviction notice up out of somebody's life. It don't work that way. All right, what's the last card for y'all? I wanted to do my reading, but my battery's running low. All right, we have hostilities, conflict, and unrest. I need another card with this one. Know that these hostilities, the conflict, and unrest, it's part of your purpose. It's part of your mission. Just like we said, you are a catalyst you are the portal for karma to come through and a catalyst for someone's change. Build your world, creation, expansion, networking. Reverent appreciation and prayer, sacred gratitude. Be thankful for the hostilities because the hostilities aren't directed towards you. It is a part of your soul name. It's a part of your calling. It is a part of who God has named you in heaven that is written that the angels and assigned your name. It is a part of that, and it's not going to direct you directly like it has been. You're going to see it. You're going to know what's going on, and it's not going to be able to touch you in that type of way. You had 31, card 33, and card 50. Changes, abundance, balance, stable foundations. So yeah, when you build a stable foundation on top of conflict and unrest, do you know what kind of foundation that has to be? That's like trying to build a house in the middle of an earthquake. Let's see how far you're going to get. The only way you could do that is through God. So that foundation is impenetrable. It is strong. It can withstand an earthquake or a tornado, a hurricane, a typhoon, a tsunami. Yeah, that's that peace that surpasses all understanding, because while you're still building your world, you're sacred in gratitude, and you're helping God build new earth. As above, so below, as it is in heaven, and bringing it down here. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and show y'all a little spread down here. Look at that. That's nice. That's beautiful. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.